Well, hello, algebra students, geometry students, and seekers of truth. We are going to continue our exploration here of parallel and perpendicular lines. And here we're asked to do a couple things. We're asked to graph the line that's parallel to AB that passes through P, then write the equation for both lines. So here's point P. We want a line that's parallel to AB and that goes through point P. So the simplest thing we can do is effectively find the slope of AB. So to go from A to B, we are going to, let me write it this way, it'll be a little bit easier. We need to go up 2 and to the right 3. So AB has a slope, and remember slope is change in y over change in x. So AB has a slope of 2/3. So if we want to find the equation for the line that's parallel to this, it must also have a slope of 2/3. So it's not too difficult to do. All we need to do is go up from P 2 units and then go over 3 units. And that'll give us this dot right here. I guess we should name this dot Q. You can name it whatever you'd like. And then I am going to connect the two lines together. Let me get my coloring scheme right here. So I'm going to connect from there to there and all the way through there. So that's the line PQ. Now let's go, and then we need to write the equation for both lines. So let's start with the equations for line AB. And I always like point slope form. Okay, if we need to convert to slope intercept form, we can certainly do that later. But I like to use point slope form. So AB has a slope of 2/3. And remember, this is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Right? So, and we can use either A or B. It doesn't really matter. I'll use point B here. So B has coordinates of 0, 2. Okay. So for point AB, the equation is y minus 0 is equal to the, y minus 2. So y minus 2 is equal to the slope, which is 2/3, times x minus 0. So there you have it. This is a perfectly acceptable answer for the equation of line AB. Now for the other line, line PQ, we could use P or Q. Both are totally acceptable. I'm going to use P here just because it goes through the origin. It's so nice that when a line point goes through the origin. So the equation of line PQ is just y is equal to 2/3 x. In other words, in this case, the slope is still 2/3, and there is no translation. It goes through the origin. So that's the equation for line PQ. Right. Let's try. What I would like to do is actually have you kind of practice and work through these other ones, this other one on your own. I am going to go forward here and discuss the equation of the line that's perpendicular this time. We want something that's perpendicular to AB. So same as before, to go from A to B, we're gonna find the slope here. In this case, we're gonna go up 1, 2, 3 units and over to the right 1. So we can say that AB has a slope of 1. No, of 3. Up 3 and over 1. So AB has a slope of 3. That means the other line, and I'm going to estimate this as best I can, it's going to go through P and it's going to be perpendicular. Okay, perpendicular means 90 degrees. So here it's going to be perpendicular, and we'll call this, I suppose we'll call this PQ. Okay, so the slope for PQ will be the negative reciprocal of the slope for AB. So in this case, the reciprocal is 1/3, and it's going to be a negative reciprocal. And so from here on, let's write the equations for line AB and for line PQ. Well, for AB, we know that it goes through point A here, which is 2, -1. and we know that it has a slope of 3. So this is y minus -1 is equal to the slope, which is 3, times x minus 2. We can do some simplifying here. Y plus 1 equals 3 times x minus 2. And then we can go one more step, maybe 3 times x minus 2, x minus 2 minus 1. And this is perfectly acceptable as point slope form. If you needed slope intercept form, you just have to multiply everything out. Now, as far as the equation of line PQ, we don't know if that's exactly the right place for Q, but we do know that P goes through 0, 3. So that'll make life a little bit easier for us. So the equation of line PQ is y minus 3 is equal to the slope, which is -1/3, quantity x minus at this point here, x minus 0. So we can rearrange this as y equals -1/3 x plus 3. All right. And there you have it. Perfectly simple and perfectly acceptable solutions for finding the equation of a line that's parallel to another line and going through a point, and perpendicular and going through another point. So I leave it to you to answer these two other questions on your own, just so that you get a very good sense of how to solve these problems. I'm going to continue here, and we're going to look at some special cases here. We want a line that's parallel to the given line and passes through the given point. Now, the first line that we're dealing with is the line y equals 5. And keep in mind, guys, keep in mind that y equals 5 is a horizontal line. So first thing I'm going to do here is draw in some axes here. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. Again, y equals 5. This is a horizontal line. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is y equals 5. So that's a horizontal line. And the line that we're looking for is parallel to that, so it must also be a horizontal line. And it's going to go through -5, 8. So -5, 8 is like back here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like here. And the line that we're looking for is this one that's going to go through there. So the equation of this line is going to be y equals 8. That's that green line there. So this just goes to hammer home and illustrate the point that if you have a horizontal line, the equation of that line is y equals something, and the line that's parallel to that is also a horizontal line, and it will also have an equation y equals something. All right, so I'm going to leave you to try, just as before, this line right, the equation of this line right here, where we have the line x equals -2. I'm going to have you graph on your own and see how you do with that. Okay, and I'm going to stop this video here, and we'll start another one where we'll solve some yet slightly more complicated problems. As always, thank you for watching. Struggling is a part of it, so if you struggle, that's normal. That just means you're trying really hard, and ask for help whenever you need it. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.